Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Build. I'm your host, Brittany Jones-Cooper. The company Foodstirs was created by 3 parents and longtime friends who wanted to make baking more natural and accessible. Since launching in 2015, Foodstirs is now available in more than 15,000 retail locations, including Starbucks and Whole Foods. Today, creators Sarah Michelle Gellar, Greg Fleishman, and Galit Laibow are here to chat about Foodstirs, but first, here's a video about their mission.
Patty cake, baker's man, bake me a cake.
Seriously, the kids have practice in like 45 minutes. As if baking alone wasn't intimidating enough, the days of having all afternoon are gone. But that doesn't mean you can't give any pastry school grad a run for their dough. Foodstirs. It's dessert a la super easy. All organic, no GMOs, so many OMGs. Can turn any parent into a bake sale baller. That's right. There's a new baker in town, and it's everyday you. How do the neighbors describe your birthday cakes? Fluffy as Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, the kids totally want in. Now that your confidence is up, let's tap into those baking powers. Cookies in the oven, phones out the window. Your kid's favorite bedtime story? The cupcake recipe. It's all the smells, all the tastes, all the feels. Yep, you might tear up a little. Just remember, all this magical stuff happens because your brownies are fudgin' awesome. Foodstirs. More flour to you.
Please welcome Sarah Michelle Gellar, Greg Fleishman, and Galit Laibow. How you guys doing today? Good. Can you believe it's this dark? By the way, it's like 5 o'clock.
It feels like it's midnight.
I know.
I don't know if it's the time difference or like the darkness.
Yeah.
It's
It
built
would be nice
after
if we had
hours.
snow.
Exactly. It's built after hours now. I'm so excited to
Talk
talk about.
Build After Dark.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there we go. We just
Drinks.
rebranded.
Is there, and what's in here? Something else?
Whatever you
If
want
it's
it to
after-
be.
after
Whiskey, tequila. So let's talk about Foodstirs. I've seen it around, so I'm so excited to chat with you guys about it. For those who are unfamiliar, what is the origin story of the company?
So it all started, we're parents. It was really, we always say it's about our kids. So it was about being, actually sort of fearful of missing those time. They were growing up so fast, so missing that time together with our kids. And we all came together saying, what can we do? We wanted to spend time together, making memories, and we thought, what better way than in the kitchen? And we saw this white space in the marketplace, and nobody was doing it. It was a tired old category that hadn't been innovated in a long time. So how could we create the best baking experience by delivering amazing products that were clean, sustainable, accessible, and tasted amazing?
And what was that space that you guys kind of found your niche in? Greg?
Yeah, well, like with anything, there's some pain points. So going into a category, wanting to leverage the power of baking, there were all these things that were hang-ups that we didn't see that we could solve for. One of them was ingredients. So when you go down that category, 80% of the brands in there, it's just basically a toxic cesspool in a box. And so we thought, all right, let's check that box. And then the next was convenience and ease. You don't want to spend more than 25 minutes usually to create something. And then the last would be this amazing from-scratch flavor. So as we were thinking about creating a brand that would leverage the power of baking, we wanted to solve for all those pain points, which we did, I think, so far.
And let's talk about the ingredients. First, what are some of the things that are in, baking that we weren't maybe aware of that aren't so great for us? Because I actually didn't know.
Well, I think it's interesting. When you think about baking, what comes to mind? Flour, right?
Eggs.
Sugar, eggs. When you look at these boxed ingredients, the number 1 and 2 ingredients are salt, are dyes that should never be to make why is there a blue dye in a yellow cake? All these odd things. So I think for us, it was about paring down what those ingredients were and searching them out individually.
Yeah, and flour makes up typically 65% of any baking mix, and flour is one of the most, it's a raw material crop that's grown with the most pesticides. So that's a big deal. And then when you think about baking mix boxes, the flour in there is usually coming from 100 or 150 different farms. So that means you've got GMOs in there, you've got pesticides, and that becomes an issue really with flavor, but also personal wellness. So.
How did you guys even know where to start with this? Like, you're telling me that I'm clueless. So what kind of research went into kind of finding out where to source the best products?
Google.
Yes.
We have a lot of personal experience in the category and in the natural products industry as a whole. So it's no wonder about how you would identify something clean.
Yeah.
To begin with, first entry point is organic, which is a big one. and then going and looking at how things are made and what they could do for a next step in terms of agriculture. So one was, it was once you knew what we wanted, we wanted single origin, so go after and just source flour from one particular farm that we knew was growing the purest way possible. So we went into that with a philosophy and a mission, and then just went and we did use Google and other network to find those farmers out there that would be able to supply us.
And is local something that's important, or is it just the best materials?
It's the best materials because from all over the country, and I think that's one thing we're really proud of is sourcing from all places all over the world, like our flour sourced in Montana, but our chocolate sourced in Peru, and so it's the most fairly traded chocolate on the planet. We deal directly. We all three went down to Peru last year and met with the farmers, met with the manufacturer, the supplier, and really build relationships. And that's what for us it's all about, is actually not just getting ingredients and having them shipped in a box and never knowing where it's from. It's the transparency and really being able to trace it back to the source and making sure that we're taking care of the people that are providing us the ingredients.
We are sweet. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I just think it's funny when you tell people you're going to go to a farm to see how they grow their crops. Usually they're not thinking about baking mixes when you tell them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just let that sit for a second, and then you guys will get what I say. It'll hit you later.
That happened with when we tried 26 different chocolates in the world, and the one we found was based in Peru, and I remember they didn't want to have anything to do with us because they were like, baking mix, forget that. You guys are going to be super small. So through personal connections and going down there, we were able to source, which is the best cocoa on the planet for us. And then our sweetener comes from Paraguay. So we use a biodynamic sweetener, which is the ultimate form of agriculture. There's nothing pure in how things are grown, no chemical inputs at all. And that is important. So sugar, cocoa, and flour make up about 80% of all of our recipes, and that is the best ingredients.
And how important is it for you guys to continue to innovate? Because I read that now a lot of your products are certified glyphosate. Is that right? Residue free?
Glyphosate.
Glyphosate?
That's so wild.
I was really bad at science in high school. So explain to me what that is and why it was important to make sure that wasn't in your products.
Yeah, I mean, so we are organic. Everything's organic and non-GMO. We're using identity preserved as a single origin way for flour, but you can grow something in its pure form, but then once it gets manufactured, that's when some contamination can come into play. So what glyphosate certification does is test what's in the box to ensure it is free of any harmful chemicals. And we are the first nationally distributed brand to get that certification. So if you're a consumer, you then feel ultimate confidence and peace of mind that nothing that is in the box is going to hurt you.
Let's talk about these boxes, because the kits that you guys have are so cute, first of all. I'm somebody who is so intimidated by baking things and making them look good. Like, I can bake things, but they don't look great. But you guys have, like, this is one of your kits, and it's like a melted snowman. So where do the ideas come from for these?
Really always goes back to the kids. I mean, the kids are getting a lot of play here. So it's really, we created the kits as, to create that experience, right? I think parents were overwhelmed with finding something to do, and baking's intimidating as it is. So what if we delivered you a box that had everything that you needed except for the milk or the one egg that you need or the couple tablespoons of butter, to create not only an experience but something that actually is going to turn out looking pretty good. So.
And also, you'd probably have to go to 10 different stores to be able to get all the different, like, accoutrements that go in there, because maybe you could find organic flour, but you're not going to be able to find organic sprinkles or dye-free colored packets or any of those. So we make it really simple so that it's a one-stop shop to be able to make something that you can. I always used to joke that Instagram was for cats and for your kids, and since I'm allergic to cats and I don't put my kids on Instagram, I needed to learn how to make cute baking ideas so that I could have something to post.
What are your kids' favorite kits to make?
My kids are super into the pancakes. We made rainbow. We make rainbow pancakes
those.
pretty much every weekend.
Yeah, the snowman one right now is a big hit.
Yeah. Anything donut. We have a Galaxy donut one. It's awesome.
That one is really cool. I think we have a photo of the gingerbread. Those are my personal favorite to make every year. And like you said, you have to go so many different places, and I love that it's all in one box. What kind of time commitment are we talking, though? Like, how many steps do we have?
6 steps or less.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's every
mix,
kit?
And then, it's usually 6 steps to make the mix. It all comes with the mixes that we sell at retail. So, this particular kit comes with our gingerbread cookie mix, and then takes about 20 minutes in the oven to bake, or even less. The cookies take about 10 to 20 minutes, and then you're just decorating. So it's really about, however long you want it to be. Some people want it to be really quick, and some people want it to drag out a little bit. This is really about the experience.
Yeah. And do you have special ones for different, like I see these are both like Christmas themed. Is that really fun to like every season roll out different kind of kits?
We have like 3 that you get all year round. The donut one, the pancake ones, there's a birthday one, and then everything else is timed to the season. So Valentine's, Halloween, and then the other holidays.
So it's a subscription. So you can
I saw that.
So you
Explain
can you can get a 3, 6, 12 month or 12 kit subscription. So every other month you'll get a new themed kit based around a certain holiday or season, which is fun. So then it's really easy. You don't even have to think because it just comes to your door and you can do it. And at Foodstirs we're all about solving problems. So the first problem that we saw was the time, right? The deep connection. So we created these kits, and then people wanted just the mixes, and they wanted something that they could bake easy because they weren't baking anymore because either it was too complicated or the ingredients were crappy, or it was too expensive and they didn't want to go buy a whole thing of flour or sugar when they're only going to use a cup of it. So then we created the mixes, and now we have, you were probably going to get to it, but now we have a line of other product extensions, which we could talk about.
Yeah, go for it. I know what is the granola bars.
Yes.
Right? Who wants to take? You can take that.
Well, that started, again, going back to our children as we were on this field trip and we were watching the kids, and they all had these like bars as a snack, and a lot of them would open up the wrapper. So the first thing you think about is just the waste, right? Every time you open one of those bars that you throw in your bag, and you're creating extra waste. And then a lot of times you eat half of it and you're full, and you toss it. And also, what are the ingredients in them? And again, they were, really high in sugar. They had dyes, they had chemicals. And so we thought, what if we could create one that you could make really simply on a Sunday night for 20 minutes, and then you could cut it up throughout the week and use reusable bags, and again, hitting all those points of better for the environment, better for your health, and also tastes really good. I think at the end of the day, when people taste clean food, you're always like, wow, this tastes so much better. Oh, that's surprising because there's no chemicals and nothing treated in it. So I love the granola bars, and they're so easy. It's like 2 steps.
You guys also have the mug cakes.
Oh, yeah.
Which I cannot wait to try. Because one, they're really quick, right? Like,
Yeah.
so explain,
1 minute.
Right. So that's no commitment, and it's like a personal size.
Yeah. So we really took it from one extreme to the other. So you have the kits, and then you have something that you can make in the microwave in under a minute with 2 tablespoons of water. So we have you covered. So there's no excuse not to bake anymore.
Well, the idea is that sometimes you just want that something sweet. You just need that little bit. It's 4 o'clock and you're having a cup of coffee and you're dragging, but you don't want to get like an entire slice of cake, or you're not going to make an entire cake. So the idea is you pop it in the microwave and you have your own personal, but again, with the organic ingredients. Because maybe you could find something really quick on the go, but you're not going to know what's in it.
And this one here, the Celebration Cookie, it's the first organic version of that type of a cake. And we found, organic sprinkles, which was a big pain, but we did it. And that is in 8,000 Starbucks.
That's crazy.
And that's our top selling flavor.
Let's talk about some of the places where you guys are selling, and take me through that journey. Because for me, I feel like you had this idea, you started it, but then how do you even start to get it out to places? And what has that journey been like, trying to get it in the right places?
I mean, we had a roadmap, so we spent a bit of time thinking about where we wanted to go and what products we wanted distributed, and then the 3 of us just went around the country for 12 months solid, calling on places like Target, Whole Foods, Kroger, and Amazon, and places that we knew that we should be in order to give the better mousetrap to consumers who were very dissatisfied with what the current offerings were in the category. So we started off with a bunch of planning and then just went in full-on flying around execution mode. And it was easy to get meetings with all these different buyers across the country because there was so much gluten-free out there, and they were just over gluten-freed, and that trend started to wane, or it's really becoming a fad now. So they were just so thankful that we came in and we're full gluten, all organic, and had this range of products. And if you try it, and most of the buyers are, they're 90% of them are male that are on some diet or whatever and never even tried our products, but they still took it in because of the power of the idea. So,
what advice would you give to people who want to do what you did in like how to build a company? I know that's such a general question, but a lot of people I know are watching, and a lot of parents who see these same problems that you saw and they want to do something about it. What's maybe something you've learned building this company that you'd like to share?
I mean, I think you have to have a great idea, right? And you have to solve a problem first. You have to think about your product or whatever it is it really solving a problem? Is there a need for it? Have a plan. And then I think go get advice, surround yourself with really smart people that are maybe in the industry that you want to be in, and have them help. It's all about asking, not being afraid to ask for help.
How much did it help to have friends in this with you?
A lot.
It's full time. It's 24/7. You know, it's whether it's getting it into the store shelf or production or sourcing ingredients. I mean, you need partners that you can count on. That, you know, it's hard. It'd be a long solo road.
Well, I think a lot of people say, entrepreneurship or being an entrepreneur is a really lonely place. I think you hear that a lot because, when it's your baby or whatever, you feel like, oh, nobody really gets it except you, right? And nobody has that passion. So having, two awesome co-founders, or having the three of us to lean on, and everybody's, excited and on the same mission, it does relieve a lot of the stress.
So where do we see Foodstirs in 5 years? Obviously, you guys have the mugs, you've got cookies, you've got pancakes, you've cornered the market in baking. So I don't know how many other products, but like, where would you like to see the company in 5 years? Is there like a goal that you have in mind?
Well, Bill Gates said a computer on every desk, and Henry Ford said a car in every driveway. We'd like to have our product in the 118 million homes that are in the U.S. to start. I think that's just that we want to have next year.
That's a starting.
So help us out. But it would be nice. I mean, right now, the category is around 7 billion, and there's about 85% of the homes that are using some type of, baking mix product, and we would like over the next 5 years to have a significant share of that. And it's doable because we have something that is unique and something that is a good idea and something that nobody else is doing. So.
I think for me, I always say that when you say, may I have a Kleenex, you think of it, right? You say Kleenex, you don't say tissue. So I just hope that when you think of clean baking and that type of product, that you just say Foodstirs without thinking.
Well, I do. So goal accomplished.
Yes, I'm done. I can retire.
You got one. Let's go to the audience really quick before we get out of here. I know they have a couple of questions for you guys.
They're like, what did you bring us? That's what the question
know.
is.
Next time.
Hi. On the topic of what's next, I wanted to know, are there any new recipes you're excited about giving out to Foodstirs? Or any new recipes in the works?
Well, we're launching our protein bars, which I think is really exciting, sort of on the same line of the granola bars, since protein bars are really popular. But if you ever watch people try to make them, there's like a million ingredients in them. So so this makes it really simple. Again, it's just, a little oil, a little water, and you can make your own protein bars and divvy them up through the week. So it's not only healthier for you, but it's cost effective.
Thank you.
You guys should do like milkshakes.
We do. If
have
you
on
go
the
on the
website, yeah.
website.
We have
If you
really
go on
good-
foodstirs.com,
Yeah.
in the recipe section, you'll find a lot of
We
We
have
actually have
cake,
quite a
Easy
few good
recipes.
milkshakes.
Oh my God,
we
perfect.
have
Okay.
cake shake, cookie shake, brownie shake
You guys are
recipes.
so smart. I love it. Next question? Or was that? Yeah.
Hi. What's it like being in the grocery store with your kids and like walking down an aisle and seeing something that you made yourself and you got to put out there?
I think for me, it's really incredible because I think for so long my kids had no concept of what I actually do because there's no tangible object, and it's not like my 9-year-old is going to be watching Cruel Intentions at home or my 3-year-old at the time. And so I think
was.
Yeah, maybe not that age, hopefully. So I think for them to be able to see that we had an idea, that we made the idea into an actual tangible product to something that they see on the grocery store that they go to every day that's the American dream, right? That's really showing what you can accomplish. So for me, it's pretty overwhelming.
I think there's a lot of sacrifice and time commitment to starting a company and running it. And when your kids go down the aisle and they see it, they go, okay, now I know why you're never home or you're distracted or always on it. And it's even more special for them if they came up with an idea that we launched with. So a lot of the products that you're seeing out there are either ideas we came up with or our kids, so they get a fulfillment from that. And it's whatever store, whether it's Target, our local grocery store, or Whole Foods. So to see it across all those different places that we shop makes it feel even more special for them. And it does make it feel a lot more worth it. I mean, when you're away from them so much.
Yeah, I remember recently we were in the store and I forgot there was a school event and we said we were going to bake and it was too late to grab product from the office, so we went down to a local Whole Foods and we bought like 5 boxes and I had my daughter with me, and lady at the cashier was, checking out, and she was like, "Oh, this company's amazing. Have you tasted these cookies? They are the best cookies ever." And my daughter's face, she's like, like she started laughing, and then we laughed, and she's like, "That's really funny, Mom. Like, you should have told her it was your company." And I was like, well, it's fun to just, see the reactions and see how they, through their eyes, and how they, see that what impact we're making on people.
We have these shirts. One of them's Bake Sale Baller, and we did them kid size. And my 5-year-old Allegra wears it to school every day. So much so I had to get like 10 of them because she is always wearing that. And when you see that pride in your kid, there has to be one reason why you're doing starting any business, because it is very painful. It's very fulfilling, but can also be painful. So when you've got that's our validator, is probably our children. Everybody will have their own, and then seeing Allegra wearing that every day to school is amazing. She's so prideful.
Is there a merch shop? Like, can I buy one of those?
Another thing on the website.
Yes.
Cool.
Foodstirs.com.
Perfect. I'm going to get a shirt.
Or you can wear the not your basic batch.
Oh, I like that one more.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, see, that's a good one, right? Yeah.
That's really good. All right, we do have a Twitter question. Alicia is gay, wants to know, if you could describe Foodstirs in one word, how would you describe it? Just one.
Yummy. Yummy-ist. Is that a word?
It can be now.
It is now, right? Yeah.
Easy.
Epic.
Yes. And one last question before we go.
You were supposed to say organic.
Hi. So I'm in college right now, and I've been trying to get more healthy with my cooking. I barely cook. But I was wondering, I love the focus on good, natural, and organic ingredients. So I was wondering, what advice do you have for the college demographic to take that step forward to healthier eating?
Our minute mug cake, because you only need a microwave, and they're perfect in the dorm room at midnight.
Well, I think the good news about college students now is that you guys are more likely to be online, and you're more likely to do research, not to just trust, oh, this is what my mother used to make. Or I think it's about really looking at companies, and we try really hard to be transparent, whether it comes to our ingredients, whether it comes to our sourcing or any of those. So it's use that computer to look at what you're eating, because sometimes you'll be surprised what's in stuff that you think is good for you that isn't. So you guys actually have a head start probably on most of the consumers.
And you should also use your computers to continue to Google more about Foodstirs and all the amazing products and merch that they have. So go check that out if you haven't already. I really had so much fun on this site, and I can't wait to make some stuff. So thank you for joining us, guys. Give it up for Sarah Michelle Gellar, Greg Fleishman, and Galit Laibow.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.